I never imagined that an evening spent preparing for an art exhibit could awaken a long-dormant part of me. My name is Maya, and at 37, I've devoted my life to managing a vibrant art gallery in downtown Chicago. My days are filled with the careful arrangement of evocative works and the quiet hum of creative energy, a routine that once felt perfectly balanced. But tonight, as soft rain tapped against the large windows and streetlights cast gentle shadows across the polished floors, everything was about to change. Before we start, thank you for coming to my channel. Your participation is my happiness. Let me know where you are and what time it is now. Okay, now let's get into the story. I was busy setting up the final details for tomorrow's exhibition, a curated collection of local photographers' work, when a subtle knock at the back door interrupted my concentration. Stepping out of my office, I found Elias waiting there. At 29, this freelance photographer carried an effortless charm and a spark of youthful energy that immediately contrasted with my measured routine. His eyes, warm and inquisitive, held a sincerity that made me pause. "Hi, Maya," he said softly, his smile both professional and inviting. "I'm here to set up the photography equipment. I hope I'm not intruding." Before I could reply, as he handed me a bundle of cables, our fingers brushed ever so briefly, a gentle electric contact that sent a ripple of warmth through me. In that fleeting moment, the world around us seemed to hold its breath. I couldn't help but notice how his touch and the soft intensity in his gaze hinted at possibilities beyond the familiar confines of my everyday life. Back amidst the quiet hum of the gallery, I found myself both startled and strangely awakened by this unexpected encounter. Though I had always prided myself on maintaining control, that simple, delicate moment stirred feelings of connection and curiosity deep within me. As I resumed my work, the soft glow of the gallery lights and the rhythmic patter of rain seemed to whisper of a new chapter, a chapter where the boundaries of routine might finally begin to blur. After the day's final brushstrokes of artistic preparation, the gallery settled into a peaceful hush. As I carefully switched off the lights and locked up, my mind couldn't help but replay the soft brush of fingers and the fleeting glance shared with Elias. The quiet corridors of the gallery now held a gentle, expectant stillness, as if they too were waiting for something more. Later that evening, I returned home to the familiar comfort of my apartment, yet my thoughts wandered back to the gallery. The memory of that delicate touch lingered, urging me to explore the unexpected spark I had felt. I found myself scrolling through social media, half expecting to see a photo of the exhibit or a behind-the-scenes glimpse of the day, but instead, I discovered a message waiting in my inbox. It was from Elias. "Hi, Maya. I couldn't help but notice a certain glow in your eyes today. I'd love to talk about the art and maybe life over coffee sometime. Let me know if you're interested." My heart skipped a beat. It was both an invitation and a challenge, one that beckoned me to step outside my carefully drawn boundaries. The next morning, with a cup of steaming coffee in hand and a mix of nervous excitement and trepidation swirling within me, I decided to reply with a tentative yes. That afternoon, as the rain pattered softly against my window, I met Elias at a cozy downtown cafe. The space was intimate yet unassuming, a perfect setting for honest conversation. Over shared laughter and stories about our passion for art, our connection deepened. We found ourselves leaning closer, our voices dropping to soft whispers that blurred the line between professional admiration and something more personal. At one point, as our conversation paused, Elias reached out and gently brushed a stray lock of hair behind my ear. His touch was both respectful and undeniably warm. I felt a tender pull in my chest, a mix of excitement and the quiet thrill of possibility. In that suspended moment, words were unnecessary. Our eyes spoke volumes. The closeness, the subtle exchange of glances, and the soft smile that curved his lips invited me into a space of vulnerability and wonder. By the time our coffee cups lay empty, the afternoon had gracefully yielded to early evening. We stood to leave, and as we stepped out into the cool, misty air, Elias's hand found mine. The contact was fleeting yet intimate, a silent promise of more unspoken moments to come. As we walked side by side down the rain-washed streets, I sensed that the spark ignited in the gallery had now grown into a gentle, unfolding flame. It was a moment of both daring and tenderness, a promise that sometimes, the quiet invitation of a simple touch can open the door to new beginnings. In the days after our unexpected walk under the rain-soaked streets, The memory of that gentle electric contact lingered in my thoughts. Every quiet moment at the gallery, whether arranging a new exhibit or cleaning up after a busy day, seemed to echo with the warmth of Elias's hand in mine. His invitation to meet again had left me both excited and apprehensive, as I struggled to reconcile my carefully ordered world with the stirrings of a long-forgotten passion. That evening, just as twilight softened the edges of the city, I received a message from Elias. "Would you like to join me at my studio tonight? I'd love to share some recent work with you." The message pulsed with the promise of something intimate and genuine. A chance to see the world through his lens, and perhaps, a glimpse into the part of me I had left hidden away. I arrived at his studio, a modest space tucked away in a renovated warehouse, where soft ambient lighting and the quiet hum of a projector set the mood. The walls were adorned with his photographs, candid moments of life captured in fleeting glances and quiet laughter. As I moved through the space, absorbing the stories behind each image, I could feel the tension between us growing stronger with every shared smile and knowing look. Elias approached quietly from behind, his presence reassuring. "I'm glad you could make it," he murmured, his voice low and gentle. As I turned, our eyes met, and the air seemed to thicken with unspoken promises. Without a word, he reached out and lightly traced his fingers along my shoulder, drawing me closer. The intimacy of that touch, so tender and deliberate, made my heart quicken, and I found myself leaning into his warmth. We wandered through the studio together, pausing before each photograph as he explained the story behind it. In those moments, the world around us faded away until it was just the soft glow of the lights, the hushed whispers of the images, and the slow, steady rhythm of our shared breaths. At one point, as we stood near a large window where the city lights twinkled in the distance, Elias gently pulled me into a close embrace. His arms circled my waist, and for a long moment we simply stood there, held together by a quiet interlude of understanding and desire. Then, as if carried by the silence itself, our eyes met again, and he leaned in to kiss me. The kiss was soft and tentative at first, a delicate question asked in the language of touch. But as the seconds passed, it deepened into a gentle affirmation of all the feelings we had dared not speak aloud. In that tender, bittersweet moment, the boundaries of routine and expectation blurred, replaced by the promise of a new beginning written in the quiet spaces between heartbeats. When we finally pulled away, the silence that followed was comfortable and full of unspoken hope. I knew that the path ahead might be fraught with uncertainty, but tonight, in the quiet glow of his studio, I allowed myself to feel alive in ways I had almost forgotten. Thank you for listening to the story so far. Your encouragement means a lot to me. Please comment and share your thoughts here. I love you and I am so grateful to have you on this journey with me to explore the story further. After leaving Elias's studio, I returned to my apartment with the echo of his touch still resonating in my heart. The quiet of the night wrapped around me as I sat by the window, the city's gentle pulse mingling with my racing thoughts. Every memory of our soft kiss and the tender way his hand had rested at my waist stirred emotions I'd long kept hidden. Unable to shake the pull, I sent him a brief message, a silent invitation to continue the conversation away from the public glare of the gallery. His reply came swiftly, warm and understanding, and soon we found ourselves meeting again in the intimate glow of my living room. The space, usually filled with the organized chaos of my work, felt transformed into a private haven where vulnerability was welcome. We settled on the plush couch, side by side, as rain whispered against the window panes. Over cups of herbal tea and quiet conversation, we spoke of our dreams and fears, our words unspooling like delicate threads weaving a tapestry of shared longing. With each story exchanged, the distance between us diminished until our shoulders brushed and our eyes locked in mutual understanding. At a moment when the world outside had quieted to a gentle murmur, Elias reached for me. His fingers grazed my cheek before drawing me into a soft, lingering kiss that deepened with unspoken promises. I felt his arm wrap gently around my waist, a comforting embrace that seemed to both shield and liberate me. In that tender moment, time slowed to the rhythm of our hearts. The intimacy of our connection grew naturally, and as the night wore on, we moved together with a profound sense of care. Wrapped in each other's arms on the couch, we allowed our guarded hearts to rest. Slowly, our whispered conversations gave way to peaceful silence, and we drifted into a shared slumber. There, in the gentle curve of his embrace, I felt both cherished and alive, A quiet confession that sometimes the most unexpected moments illuminate the hidden corners of our souls. Dawn arrived with a soft glow that filtered through the curtains, gently stirring me from sleep. I awoke still nestled against Elias on the couch, the warmth of his body a tender reminder of the night before. For a long silent moment I lay there, feeling the quiet rhythm of his breathing and the delicate imprint of his kiss on my forehead. The intimacy of our shared sleep felt like a secret kept safe in the hush of early morning. A moment of vulnerability and connection that both excited and comforted me. Slowly, Elias stirred beside me, his eyes fluttering open as he smiled in recognition of the peaceful glow in my gaze. "Good morning, Maya," he whispered softly, his voice carrying the calm assurance of a new day. As he shifted closer, his arm wrapped gently around my waist, I felt an overwhelming sense of reassurance and tenderness. We exchanged quiet smiles, the memory of our midnight confessions lingering in the space between us like a cherished secret. In that stillness over the soft murmur of a waking city outside, we talked in hushed tones about our hopes, our fears, and the unexpected pull that had brought us together. Every word was gentle, measured, an exploration of feelings that were both thrilling and uncertain. Elias shared stories of his passion for capturing fleeting moments on film, while I confessed how long I'd been yearning for a connection that resonated with the depths of my soul. Our conversation, intimate and unhurried, made it clear that this was more than a single night of tenderness. It was the beginning of something fragile and beautiful. As we eventually rose to greet the day, the lingering warmth of our embrace followed us like a soft promise. With each careful step toward a future that neither of us could yet fully define, I carried the memory of that morning's quiet intimacy, a gentle reminder that sometimes, in the soft embrace of a new dawn, we find the courage to follow the stirring whispers of our hearts. The day unfolded slowly, every moment tinted with the residue of last night's tender intimacy. As I returned to the gallery, familiar walls now echoed with conflicting whispers. Each brushstroke of art and every carefully arranged piece seemed to remind me of the warmth I had shared with Elias. Yet beneath that gentle glow lay an undercurrent of uncertainty that I could no longer ignore. In the quiet solitude of the gallery before the morning crowd arrived, I found myself wandering from one exhibit to another, my thoughts adrift in memories of our midnight confessions. I recalled the feel of his hand on my shoulder, the soft press of his embrace that had made me feel both cherished and alive. But with each tender recollection, a subtle dissonance grew. A tension between the vibrant connection that had awakened a forgotten part of my soul, and the weight of responsibilities and expectations that had long defined my life. At midday, while I sat in my office arranging the next installation, my phone buzzed with a message from Elias. A simple "thinking of you" that sent a familiar flutter through my heart. I stared at the screen, torn between the comfort of his words and the silent, nagging questions that had begun to intrude on my thoughts. Was this a fleeting escape from routine, or the opening of a door to something more profound? My mind danced between the promise of newfound passion and the echo of caution that whispered of the inevitable consequences of such delicate entanglements. Later, as the afternoon light softened and shadows played gently across the polished floor, I closed my eyes for a moment of respite. In that brief pause, I felt the lingering echo of Elias's embrace, a memory as vivid as the brushstrokes on a canvas, stirring emotions I had long kept at bay. The sensations were both exhilarating and disconcerting. I yearned for the warmth that had cradled me through the night, yet I knew that every spark of intimacy carried with it the potential to disrupt the carefully built world I had known. Standing there in the quiet solitude of the gallery, I realized that the dissonance within me was not merely a sign of conflict, but also a call to examine what I truly desired from life. The echoes of his tender kiss and the soft murmur of shared secrets were now entwined with a profound introspection, a reminder that sometimes the heart must navigate the space between vulnerability and responsibility. And as the day edged closer to evening, I knew that the path ahead was fraught with difficult choices, each one echoing the silent, lingering dissonance of a connection that promised both renewal and risk. As twilight deepened into a soft, indigo evening, I returned to the gallery with a newfound clarity. The quiet hum of the space, usually filled with whispered echoes of creativity, now resonated with the steady beat of my heart, a heart awakened by Elias's gentle touch and the tender moments we'd shared. The lingering dissonance from earlier had softened into a delicate balance of longing and resolve. That night, I walked through the gallery alone, pausing before each painting and photograph as if seeking guidance from the silent stories they told. In the stillness, I recognized that the connection with Elias was not merely a fleeting escape, but a powerful reminder of the parts of me that had long lain dormant. I recalled the softness of his kisses, the warmth of his embrace as he wrapped his arms around my waist, and the quiet intimacy of our shared slumber. Each memory was a brushstroke on the canvas of my soul, urging me to embrace a new horizon. With the gallery bathed in gentle light, I composed a heartfelt message to Elias. I expressed my gratitude for the intimacy we had shared, acknowledging that while uncertainty still lingered, I was ready to explore this unexpected journey further. His reply came quickly, a simple, tender note that spoke of mutual understanding and the promise of new beginnings. Later that night, as I sat by my window watching the city lights flicker like distant stars, I felt a profound sense of peace. I knew the road ahead might be challenging, and that my heart would continue to navigate the delicate interplay between passion and responsibility. Yet, in that quiet moment, I made a promise to myself, to honor the vibrant spark within me, and to allow my heart to guide me toward a life where love, art, and authenticity intertwined. Embracing this new horizon meant accepting the beauty of vulnerability, and the strength found in following one's true desires. And as I drifted into a gentle sleep, the memory of Elias's last embrace lingered, a soft, enduring promise that sometimes, the most transformative journeys begin with a single heartfelt whisper. And that's it for today's story. I'd love to hear what you think. Leave a comment below and share your feelings. Did you relate to any of the characters? Or if you were in their shoes, what decisions would you make? I'd love to hear from all of you. Don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. And if you didn't, hit one. Subscribe so you don't miss out on more great content. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day.